Tel Akko is the Tel of Scherds, Total Archaeology at Tel Akko, a joint project of Penn State and Haifa University, is also interested in bones. Students from Penn State, Trinity College, University of Massachusetts Amherst, and the Claremont Colleges Consortium not only collect bone from the Tel, but also wash and help identify it. Justin Lev-Tov explains.
So, yeah, these bones are going to become our field comparative collection, and they consist of bones that we salvaged from bags of bones from our current excavations that had no context. So they were from mixed loci, topsoil, cleanup, bulk trim, what have you. So the kinds of animals we're getting are mostly domestic animals. So we have here horse, donkey, sheep and goats, cattle, and that's the majority of it. Then we have a few things that just kind of stand out because they're wild animals, or they're just not very common animals. So we have some kind of canid, so dog, or maybe a small wolf or something like that, or possibly a jackal. Here we have a tortoise shell, or turtle shell rather, so the soft shell turtle. This is a piece of gazelle antler, or rather horn. And here we have fish vertebrae, various kinds, but I haven't figured out what fish they are just yet. This is fallow deer, so it's a relatively small species of deer, at least smaller than the red deer / elk, more or less the size of the American white-tailed deer, maybe a little smaller. We're going to be examining which parts of animals we have, whether there's some kind of central processing sort of thing where the poor people get the less meaty parts of the animal, and maybe older animals and the other parts of the city or something like that would get other more choice parts.
Alan Mosley explains his fascination with bones.
The thing I loved when I worked with Justin, that he would just be able to look at it and then know what it is, and I wanted to be able to do that, especially for animal bones, not only because I think it's interesting, but being able to identify stuff in the field is always fun. I don't know, the different carpal and tarsal bones they're really interesting, especially the calcaneus and the astragalus. I found out I like the astragalus the most because it's the most interestingly shaped, and people do a lot of crazy things with them, like the game pieces. We found at least 2 or 3 of those here, but unfortunately out of context.
Excavators today aren't the only ones who collect bones. Moshe Datan collected boxes and boxes of bones that have still not been analyzed.
Hope is that someday there will be enough information so that we can link up Moshe Datan's in this case the animal bones from his excavations, with those from the current excavations. So that's the big plan. So we study the things now, and in the future we make a linked up arranged marriage, if you will, between the Moshe Datan bones and the Kilbrew bones. But when that's going to happen, I'm not quite sure, but hope for the best.